Hey, Waves and Wi-Fi subscribers, we appreciate you so much. Making progress toward the monetization threshold, which we definitely need because we spend a lot of time volunteering, and obviously, while we're volunteering, we're not getting compensated, and ain't no trust funds in this household. So, yeah, I'm going to turn this around so you could see, and we're gonna show you kind of like our getting ready process. So here comes Wes with 2 tanks. So today we're doing 2 dives. So we need 4 tanks because there are 2 of us. And just for those that are not divers, so you know, um, unless you're specially trained to do solo dives, you basically have to have a buddy. There goes Wes. Look at him looking all sexy. So he's gonna show you how we set up our equipment. So we parked across the street. Fortunately, we got a good spot and we were able to bring all of this stuff in one trip. But it's quite a bit of stuff, as you can see. And so he's gonna set up my equipment for me, which is really nice. Let me make sure I'm over here. He's gonna set up my equipment for me because I'm filming. So I get the easy job today. So he's putting the BCD on, and BCD stands for buoyancy control device. And basically that's the vest that you wear when you're diving, that you inflate, you put air into, and then you let air out of, and it essentially lets you control your buoyancy in the water, and particularly at the surface, because when you surface on, for example, a boat dive, you can go ahead. And you're, hanging out waiting for the boat to come get you. It's really nice to have that inflation. So he put that on. Now he's putting on the regulator. So the regulator is, I guess I would say, probably the most important piece of equipment.
Warren G.
What?
Warren G.
Warren G. What?
Hip hop people will know that as.
What? But I know who Warren G is. But what?
Regulate.
Regulate. That's right. That was the name of that song that was a hit in the 90s. Okay. Anyway, so the regulator makes it so that the air, which is in the tank, can actually be utilized by the diver. And so it comes through here, and then you breathe through the first stage here. And so, yeah, so show them. So we're checking the gauge. You can see here it's got over 3,000 PSI, which is great. That means we got a full tank. And it takes us a lot of air, because when you're actually working underwater, you know, just like any other time that you're exerting yourself, you're going to use more air, right? That's what cardio is. So,
Okay.
so it's definitely cardio. So 2 tanks is good. And we were fortunate today. We actually had somebody sponsor our tanks. It was 200 pesos for 4 tanks, which is about $12 USD. Not a huge amount, but of course, when you're doing this twice a week or maybe 3 times a week, it can get pretty costly. And as I mentioned before, there are no trust funds here. We work for every penny that we get, unless we get donations. So yeah, so we have sponsors for tanks today, which is really fortunate. And the person who sponsored us did not want me to shout him out, although I was absolutely willing to, because I appreciate our support. So he's now doing his BCD, and you can see it's hot. It is hot out here. It's like, I don't know, it's definitely over 90. And there's no shade right here. So yeah, it's Wes is dripping, but that's okay because we're about to get in the water. And actually, while he puts that regulator on, I'll give you a little sighting of the water. This is where we're about to go. And our mission today is to find the young coral recruits. So the basically the baby corals that have settled on the live rock in this restoration area, and to clean around them so that they're not smothered by macroalgae, so they have space to grow, so that the algae is not blocking them from eating, and also so that the algae isn't increasing their exposure to, what you call it, increasing their exposure to bacteria, viruses, you know, fecal matter, whatever nastiness is in the water that might be harbored within the algae. Okay, so we hear a little leak here. It could be that Wes needs a new O-ring. So now he has to turn off the tank, purge the air from his regulator, take off the regulator all over again. And then we got to look. Let's see. Let's look. What do we got going on? All right, yeah. It looks okay, but do you want to just try resetting it a little? So it looks okay, but let's see. If he puts it on a second time and we still have a leak, then we'll go get another O-ring. So as you can see, this process is not necessarily quick, right?
Oh, okay, cool.
See, okay. So he reset it. Sometimes it's just not on the right way. He reset it and now it's working. So he's going to check to see that he has a full tank.
Should I do?
And he does. And then next step is all this stuff. So I can't really, oh, I didn't need this. This is my other skin suit. I'm trying to see how can I do my stuff while recording. I don't think I can. Well, I don't even want them to see me. Well, it's I'm not at my most fit right now. The tacos and tortillas really have gotten to me over the last. You're gonna go shower real quick. He's gonna go shower real quick. Should we follow him? Let's follow him. Oh, babe. But yeah, so you can see like this is not really a quick process. So whenever we go to volunteer, we account for, if we're doing 2 dives, we definitely account for like 3 to 4 hours basically, because between setting up, getting in the water, and then our dives are anywhere between an hour and an hour and a half, because we're in pretty shallow water. And so yeah, it's a process. All right, so now what now? ¿Qué más?
I still put on.
Yeah, so he's putting, I'll let them see you put on your stuff, and then we'll turn it off for me. All right, so he's got to get on the superhero suit is what I call it.
Because all this before they get cold.
I think he looks like a superhero when he wears his wetsuit. Yeah, I don't have a wetsuit actually, and right now I don't need one. In the winter, it might be a different story, but they're not cheap. We got this one off of Facebook Marketplace, actually, pre-owned. So then he puts on this. He gets really cold because he has very low body fat. Lucky man. So you got that. And then what's next?
This I'll put online. So.
Oh yeah, the hood.
All right, what's that?
Well, we gotta, where's your mask and, okay, and the brushes. Can you get our brushes? Did you take your toothbrush? The new toothbrush? Okay, cool. They're in that bag, the mesh bag, yellow mesh bag right there. No, it's right there. Yeah. Yeah, those are our old brushes. We actually bought some new brushes this morning, but we just cleaned these old ones, so we're gonna use them today. Well, no, I was gonna, oh yeah, I guess we could use that to take them. Yeah, that's fine. I was actually thinking to put them in my pocket, but take this out though. Yeah, we can use that to carry our brushes. That's cool. Good idea. I was just using them just to using the bag just to carry them. But we bring these bags also because when we find predatory snails, which we often do, we remove them from the corals. We don't remove them from the water, but we remove them from the corals and then like bring them with us up towards shore and just put them, further away. So it takes them some time to get back because they are pretty destructive to the corals, but they're also part of the ecosystem. So those mesh bags are really useful for holding on to the snails while we're doing our thing. You gonna do your weights?
Mhm.
There are people watching, so I'll just watch you do your thing. um, oh, and you can see these while we're here, these beautiful mangroves right here. So if you're a person that does work around or is like an enthusiast about corals and coral reefs and diving, you may already know, but mangroves are actually a really, really crucial part of the broader ecosystem. So coral reefs, seagrasses, and mangroves actually sort of create their own system. Mangroves are just amazing in what they do in terms of filtering pollutants, in terms of providing habitat for nursery habitat for young fish and crabs and all kinds of stuff. Birds as well. Birds like to hunt in the mangroves. You've probably seen that if you've been to a tropical place. So yeah, mangroves are super cool. Very happy to see them growing here. They've been removed from a lot of shorelines to make room for beaches in, all over the world. But I think awareness is starting to grow that they are really important. In the United States, there's actually a fair amount of regulatory protection for mangroves, which is enforced or not to differing degrees, depending on what state you're in and, what the politicians there value and who funds their campaigns. You ready? We're ready? He's ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, and share with 3 friends and ask them to subscribe as well. Eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to have a little bit of revenue, which will help to support this pro bono work that we do. Thank you all so much and take good care. Wait, how do I turn it off? I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all new to me. And
This isn't awkward.
here, I'm gonna give it to him.
This isn't awkward.
Figure it out. It's not awkward at all.
There we go. All right.
Got it.